I'm hoping that this is the last video I have to make of this. So what happens after we die? I don't believe in souls. I don't believe in consciousness surviving the death of the brain. Brains cause or do consciousness. Consciousness is a function of a living brain. So imagine whenever you die and you cease to exist, you just don't exist anymore. You're completely gone. So here's a thought experiment to explain what would happen after you die. So imagine that you're the only conscious organism in the entire universe. There is only your consciousness. That is the only conscious experience that there is, period. And then you die. You cease to exist. You no longer exist whatsoever. Your consciousness has ceased. And then, a couple billion years later, somewhere else in the universe, a new organism that has nothing to do with you, a new organism, a sentient organism, comes to exist. And now its consciousness is the only conscious experience that exists, period. It's the only experience that there is at all. And so, after your death, instead of it being like a black void or whatever, the experience that would come after your death in this thought experiment is that new organism's consciousness. So its conscious experience is what would follow your end, in the same way that your non-existence before birth was followed by your consciousness, the consciousness caused by the birth of a brain. So in this thought experiment, your death would be followed by that new organism's consciousness, because it is at that point in time the only conscious experience that exists. So it is the only experience that could come after your death, as opposed to there being a black void or nothingness or whatever. You would be completely gone, so you wouldn't be able to experience nothingness or any of that. You'd be so gone that the other organism's experience is what comes next. Because it's the only experience there is at that point in time in this thought experiment. So apply that to real life. So whenever you die, there will be other brains causing consciousnesses, right? So what will happen after you die, in reality, is one of the consciousnesses that does exist will be what comes after your death, as opposed to nothingness or a black void. So please share this and like it. I don't care if you subscribe or not. I just want to get this idea out there for many reasons, but it is the most naturalistic answer to what happens after we die. The idea of telling people that nothing happens after we die, it doesn't explain enough to people. People will take that nothing as meaning a black void and stuff like that. So the idea of there being a black void after we die is actually, it's kind of a supernatural idea. It's not a good way to convey what not existing would entail, or what would happen after you no longer exist. So thanks for watching.